Hi guys, Beth here. Today is day 3 in the 12 Days of Litmas challenge that was put forth by Stripped Cover Lit. I will link to his original video in the notes as well as all 12 of the challenges if you wish to join in. So today's challenge is to name my favorite short story. It's really hard, but I do have a couple of favorites. One is one that's been a long-time favorite of mine, maybe not the favorite, but a long-time favorite, and that is There Will Come Soft Rains by Ray Bradbury. It's a science fiction tale from the 1950s. If you watched my previous video, you will know fondly my dear place in my heart for 1950s science fiction short stories and short fiction. Of course it's fiction, but while that one is one of my favorites, I think my very favorite has got to be Mrs. Todd's Shortcut by Stephen King. This was part of his larger anthology of short stories in Skeleton Crew. All of the stories in that book, in fact, are fabulous, but this one especially is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. So it involves, I won't go into it because it's long. Stephen King is pretty prolific. And long-winded, but in a good way. Oh, I need to stop talking. But in it, Ophelia Todd is kind of a trophy wife of a man in town, and Homer is the handyman, old guy who comes around and does odd fix-it jobs. So he sees Mrs. Todd over a period of time kind of morph from little housewife to finding this passion in finding stranger and more complex shortcuts to get between one town and the other. And so as she describes these shortcuts, the tales that she tells of them get more and more fantastical until in her he kind of envisions this Greek goddess. And it's magical, how do I really describe it to do it justice? I can't. So go read the story, read Skeleton Crew, listen to the audiobook, whatever your pleasure is, check it out. It's really good. It kind of ambles. So Stephen King, sometimes he doesn't get directly to the story. He kind of makes his way around to it. And since our narrator in this story is an old man named Homer, I mean, truly, he's old. He's kind of the guy that sits at the general store on the front porch all afternoon just going, yep. He doesn't get straight to the story. He makes his way to it. He ambles his way on into it, which I think is a really clever literary device in this story because it kind of slowly builds to the point that just read it. Another favorite from Stephen King is The End of the Whole Mess. This is where a boy who is too smart for his own good figures out how to fix the world, and it's a whole mess. But anyway, favorite short story. Go check it out. Stephen King, always a winner. Join me again tomorrow where I will try to talk about my favorite novel. Thanks. Bye.